What's up, guys and girls? Welcome back to another video. Currently, there's a scam going on in the Pokemon scene that is drastically affecting card prices on the individual level and may even be affecting you. And I don't see anyone really talking about it. I've seen a couple brief mentions on Twitter, and that's kind of where I'm getting my information from. And then I did a little bit of digging myself. But I'm going to dump in and kind of talk about it today. Just dive in and why this is dangerous and why you need to be double checking before you sell anything. Make sure you're getting the best possible price for your own cards and your sealed product. So let's jump right in. Real quick before we dive right in, if you could like and subscribe, it helped me out a ton. I think like 90% of people are not subscribed to the channel. So if you could do that for me real quick, helps me out a ton. Lets me know people are enjoying the videos. I appreciate it. Let's hop right into the video. So first off, I kind of want to just break down what the point of the scam is and what the purpose of doing this said scam is. And then I'll deep dive into a little bit deeper of what cards it's been affecting and how it's done. But first off, the point of the scam is obviously to make money. That's what most scams are. It's to make money and, scam people out of assets that are either worth more or, shark people or whatever. You're trying to make money. That's the overall goal. So overall, the point of the scam is you are trying to bring the price of cards down, right? So how do you do that? How does that happen? Like, you can't just magically make prices go down, right? Like, unless you have a bunch of copies and you're listing it like super low and then no one's buying it. That's normally how like you would get prices down. In this case, how they're doing it is normally a lot of shops and just people in general go based off the app Collector. Now, obviously, some apps are different. I think like price charting and some of the other ones go on different things, but a lot of people nowadays just go based off what Collector is, because Collector goes on like a wide range of data from TCG, eBay, and I think some like other websites and stuff like that. Now, because of this, it is possible people found out to manipulate Collector. And you might be asking, Impulsive, how do you manipulate Collector? There's not an easy way to do this. And the way people found out is you just make fake sales. You just make sales that bring the average cost of the prices sold of most recent sales down. How do you do that? Well, that's where TCG Player comes into this. TCG Player basically will pretty much let anyone apply to get on the site. There's not a whole lot of vetting that goes on to getting this. Unless you're me, then it takes like 5+ months to get on, because for whatever reason you had multiple accounts, you had 2 accounts linked to your address, a whole bunch of nonsense that went on with that. But ultimately, there's not a whole lot of vetting that goes on to create a TCG Player account. So basically how this works is the person will find a card they want, whether it's the Gold Gardevoir from the new Mega set or Cynthia's Garchomp, obviously not this one, but the super expensive one, the SIR version. Basically, they find a card they really want or want to manipulate. They go to TCG Player, and on one of their accounts, they'll have a bunch of listings. They'll go $1, $1, $1, $1, $1. Basically, they'll create 15 listings for $1, right? Super reasonable stuff, and they'll maybe even set the shipping to like 99 cents or something random. It doesn't really matter the price of the card, because it ultimately won't affect it. It'll be the lowest listed sold. Basically, on the other computer or another phone or somebody else, or even a bot maybe sniping it, it'll go and refresh the page. It'll be the first option. They'll go and immediately buy it and purchase it, because a 99-cent card, who really cares? Then they don't even have to ship it, because it's a 99-cent card. They don't have to send it with like tracking or anything like that. Basically, it doesn't affect their feedback or anything of that sort. They've now bought, let's say, 20 copies for 99 cents. So $20 worth they just spent. Let's say 40 for shipping and all that. They just spent on TCG Player, and they brought the price down from 300 to 150, because the last 20 most recent sales now are $1 sales. So now the price of the card, when it gets mixed in for the average, now brings it down, because it's a $1 card in the most recent sales, but there's still a couple 300 so cards. And on Collector, you'll see giant drops. I can show an image right here. Giant drop in the picture because somebody bought 100 or $21 cards or whatever I was saying earlier. Basically, that's the whole point of the scam. They're trying to bring the price down, and the best way to do that is through TCG Player. Now that they have the price down on Collector, it's saying 150. They go into their local shop, and the local shop uses Collector, and they're like, it's pretty simple. Most people, if somebody walked into my trade shop, I wouldn't think the dude asking about the Cynthia's Garchomp was the one who influenced the price earlier that day or a couple days ago. I wouldn't know anything about it. In fact, I probably wouldn't even look at the price unless I was going based on it, like pretty reasonably. So they pull up the price. They go, oh, it's a $150 card, and the shop owner goes, wow, I thought it was like 300 a couple weeks ago. And they're like, yeah, you can take a look at it. And the person might look at it and be like, oh yeah, okay, well, it's 150. I guess I'll sell it to you. Like if somebody's trying to buy it, I want to move it if it's dropping in price that rapidly. Person buys it, they know it's still a $300 card because they manipulated the price. They now sell it on TCG Player for a profit at 85% basically is what they take home. They now just made free money, literally free money. They had to do very little work, anything of the sort, And overall, that's how the scam is working. Now, in practice, this can be applied to actual people as well. If you're listing on Facebook Marketplace and somebody's like, oh, well, the price of that's $150 now, you're like, oh, dang, it is $150. Well, I guess I'll sell it. I just want whatever money I'll get. They're paying me full market price for it because that's what's saying on my collector app. So, like, they just made free money from that as well. So what I'm saying overall is not enough people are talking about the scam and how TCG Player, I think most people know TCG Player can be easily manipulated in various ways, whether that's through buyouts or like manipulation of prices or just the, there's various ways, but this is kind of a new manipulation of the inverse where in the past people were pushing the prices up in a negative way. Now people are pushing the prices down in a negative way, in a scam sort of way. So I'm just saying in this case, everyone needs to be extra careful whenever they are listing items on eBay and TCG Player or selling to a card shop or anything like that, that they're getting the best possible deal and not just to rely on the apps. Use multiple streams of like info to be able to gather and make your decisions on these sorts of things, because as we can see, this sort of stuff is easily manipulated. It's not even difficult. All it takes is $40 and you can manipulate the price of Cynthia's Garchomp in half to 50%, even though it's not technically that low. Until more sales come through in those couple hours or whatever, the price now drops in half, and it's ridiculous to think that like somebody can just come in with not even a lot of money and do this. So I really advise people to be careful and just be on the lookout for this sort of stuff. But I also did want to talk about how to like be careful, how to get this info the correct way. And honestly, the best way I see to be able to avoid sort of this possibility happening to you where you get scammed out of your money or cards or anything like that is to just use different info sources. So go based on price joining, go based on TCG Player, and look at the last solds on TCG Player. I swear that's probably one of the best ways to actually get the price. A lot of shops just use Collector now because it's super easy to pull out your phone and type in a card and be like, oh, it says 150, that's what it goes for. Super easy. Don't be lazy. Check your prices. So go on TCG Player, go on Near Mint, check last solds of Near Mint. If you see a whole bunch of $1 sales for a card, even just a couple $1 sales for a card, most likely there was at least an attempt made to manipulate the price on that way, one way or the other. And I highly advise you just be careful and look into it. Be like, okay, hey, I know I'm selling you this card. It's saying on Collector it's 150, but there's a whole bunch of $1 sales. I'm gonna either hold on to the card, or I think I'm still gonna go on last sale of 300, or maybe even like 280. I'll lower it a little bit, but do a little bit of research before you sell your cards and possibly take a heavy loss because somebody was able to get on Collector or TCG Player and manipulate prices. Also, for TCG Player, they need to be putting better safety nets into this sort of stuff because, as we've seen, it's super easy to manipulate. I don't know why they don't have better standards and like banning procedures for this sort of stuff. Realistically, I mean, technically, I guess it's not illegal if you paid on one account to another and you're shipping it somewhere. Like, you didn't break any laws, I guess, technically, but it really paints a bad picture for TCG Player to just be letting this kind of shenanigans be going on their website, to where people are able to go in, buy a bunch of cards for $1, and then Collector also needs to adjust how their app runs. Maybe filter out $1 or $2. Like, filter out things that are 99% off the card price, because otherwise it will manipulate the price on the Collector app. And I think all these apps need to take a step back and realize, the money is super awesome, I'm sure, because they're making a whole lot of it right now, but they need to take a step back and just realize how things are going right now. It's very scammy, very bubbly, and I think they really need to understand that this probably won't last forever. Like, realistically, this Pokemon bubble won't last forever, and I think they need to make sure that they're fixing up their apps so people aren't getting scammed out of money like this. Because if you lost money on this sort of deal because you sold a Cynthia's Garchomp for $150 and you find out from this video that that's what happened, you're gonna be pissed. Or even if you look the next day and you're like, wait, now it's a $300 card again. Why did I sell it for $150? You're gonna be upset by it, and a TCG Player and Collector could be, I don't know what sort of trouble they might be in, but it just doesn't rub customers the right way to have sort of mishaps happening. I think it's super easy to fix sort of stuff on TCG Players, and TCG Player just ban accounts that do this sort of price manipulation. For Collector, it's easy. If it's a $300 card and it sells for $1, most likely that's sort of some sort of manipulation. You can filter that out. But otherwise, that's pretty much all I got for this video today. If you enjoyed it at any sort of facet, or if you didn't know about this sort of scam that's going on right now, if you could like and subscribe, help me out a ton. We're getting close to 200. I really want to hit that by the end of the year. Appreciate all y'all so far. If you could, check out the Discord also. I think links in the description. But that's all I got for you today. Appreciate it all y'all. Take care.